Hi guys, this is Zach from Watches on You, and today we are again at the Breguet Boutique in New York, and we're going to be taking a look at the Breguet Tradition Fusée Tourbillon reference 7047PT. And the PT in that reference stands for that this is in a platinum case. You can also get this in other gold options such as yellow or rose gold. Now, the platinum case on this watch is what I'm going to go over first, and it says the diameter of this case is 41 millimeters with a thickness of 15.95 millimeters. So thickness-wise, this watch is very, very thick, but that is to accommodate the many layers of the movement, including the Fusee mechanism for the main spring. So on the case, though, you get classic Breguet coin edging all the way around, even in between the lugs there. You get the classic Breguet lugs, and the finishing is absolutely spectacular. The polishing is done great, and I really love how Breguet does do their coin edging, just as it adds a more unique element to their pieces versus other manufacturers where mostly on dress watches they'll just polish the entire case, which I think is a little bit it seems like they didn't really necessarily put all the craftsmanship in there that they could have. So now let's move to the beautiful dial. So this really has a skeletonized dial, and you can see a lot of the movement. So you can definitely see, though, the tourbillon up at around 1 o'clock there, and it looks absolutely fantastic. It is the tourbillon cage and balance wheel is actually out of titanium instead of steel, which definitely is a lot harder to work with, so it kind of shows the extra mile they went with this piece, because being titanium, being it much lighter, it will actually be a bit more efficient just because it takes a lot less force to move the balance wheel back and forth. So you also get this beautiful Fusée and chain mechanism that you can see. You can see the two barrels there, and as I wind it, you can see the chain move. So the whole point of the Fusée chain is it provides constant power no matter how much it's wound. Now, obviously, if it's fully empty, there's going to be no power flowing, but no matter how, otherwise, it will be supplying the exact same power no matter what. So that just again brings up the efficiency a little bit more, and that gives this watch a power of over 50 hours, which is very nice. I love to see 48, so this is definitely within my perfect range. And again, the Fusée and chain, the one thing about it is it's much, much harder to manufacture, and one of the main challenges that they had when they were making Fusée and chain wristwatches at first was getting the chain that so small while still maintaining its rigidity, because on old wristwatches they would have trouble where they would make the chain, they would put it in the watch, and the chain would break actually under the strain of the mainspring. So now they've figured it out and how to make it, but it takes a lot more effort to make a Fusée and chain mechanism than a traditional mainspring. So now actually I'll talk about where you can actually see the time, because this is a wristwatch. So the time is displayed on this small dial, and you can see that it still has the various elements of Breguet dial finishing. You can see the beautiful guilloche, and it looks absolutely fantastic. The one thing is, being that it is so small, would be pretty hard to read at a quick glance, but then again, you wouldn't get the beautiful view of that tourbillon. So the dial again, so just as simple hours and minutes. You're not getting a seconds hand here. That would have been nice to see. Maybe put something on the tourbillon to really display the seconds, but you're really getting no seconds indicator besides if you're looking at the cage of the tourbillon. So now let's actually go to the back and take a closer look at this watch's movement. So on the back of the movement, you can see that they did more of this. It's almost a sandblast finish on the movement, but it's very, very uniform, very high quality. If you see, the camera doesn't really do it justice. It looks absolutely beautiful in person, and it kind of has a little bit more industrial look, I guess, compared to the more classic Côte de Genève and Perlage. So I really like how they're kind of, I guess, mixing it up a little bit with this watch, giving it this different kind of finishing. Now you can see more of the gears on the back here. It isn't as beautiful on the back as it is on the front, because you don't get to see that beautiful tourbillon and Fusée and chain mechanism, but it lets you see even more of the movement, which I like. So now let's move on to a wrist shot. So let me just take my glove off here. So On the wrist, this watch, it wears, I'd say, quite a bit larger than a regular 41 millimeter watch. I mean, you can see, I think that's based on the thickness and how there really is no bezel on this watch. The crystal goes really all the way to the edge, and you can see that the crystal is actually curved. But yeah, the thickness of this watch is a lot. So this is more, I'd say, more of a dressy watch, definitely not a sporty watch. So if you're wearing this as a suit, it may be an issue but getting caught on the cuff of your shirt, but honestly, that isn't necessarily a huge problem. It could just be a little bit of annoyance when you're wearing this piece, but I think it's worth it in the end because you get that beautiful tourbillon and Fusée and chain mechanism. So the fit on the wrist, though, is nice. It does feel good. You get this beautiful black alligator strap, and there's really no problems with fit on the wrist at all. It's totally comfortable. Now the clasp you get on this piece is a standard deployant clasp. You will open it by just pulling. There are no push buttons, but done very nicely, easy to use, no problem there. You just open it and then close it. Easy to use, simple. I like it. It doesn't necessarily take too much force to open or too much force to close, so it's good in that regard. So I'll be actually leaving links in the description to this watch if you would like to learn more about it. Thank you guys for watching this video. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Thanks.